My idea was like a zoo, like rehabilitation center type thing. So, like I started off the question, like, are you the type of person that when you go to a zoo, do you think like animals shouldn't be like held in captivity, or do you feel bad for the animals? Like I said, lots of people think zoos are cruel and unusual, that they neglect the animals' freedom and that they're not free to roam freely. I agree with this. Like, I mean, I like love going to zoos, I like animals, stuff like that. But it's like it sucks to see animals like kept in captivity, like they don't get to roam free like they do in the wild. But I thought of a way that people could like see animals like in a zoo, but also have them like be able to roam somewhat free in like a park. So follow up, I thought that would be cool to have a zoo where like people could be like driven around in trucks, like it's like little cars. Think of them like with cages on them, so like people like with chairs, people could like sit in them, and then like they could like drive around, like see the animals like in their like pretty much natural habitat. Kind of think of it like as a like a national park type thing. Like people can like tour around and see the animals, see like what the land is and stuff like that, but also having the animals like be able to roam free. But of course, like you'd still get like the zoo experience. Like what my zoo will look like. So like this is like the layout of it, but of course like there'll actually be like a fence. But like people will, like just take tours. Like in the trucks, the animals would be able to like climb onto the trucks and stuff like that. This was my logo. You can kind of see some of it. It's supposed to be like an exotic zoo and rehabilitation center. So like, my idea was to like have the animals there, and then like if we would like find animals like in the wild that were like injured, or if they were like found like a baby giraffe, or for example like a baby elephant that like lost its pack or like lost its mom or something, we could bring them back to the area and put them in with like where the other animals are like of their same kind, and they could live with them, adapt to like the area that they're living in, but also have like the same freedom that they would be in the wild, but also have that sense of like the zoo, being able to like come and see them like whenever you want. So like this is supposed to make about like 500 acres or so. So it's about 3 times the size of like a normal zoo. Normal zoos are like 150 to 200 acres or so. So it'd be fairly large, and so that would give the animals enough room to like roam freely. My expenses, I set a starting price of about $2 million. Of course, that could fluctuate whether like how things go and stuff like that. So I said land costs would be about $725,000, about $145,000, about 1,000 an acre. Then animal feed, I said around $200,000, just so like if they wouldn't, like we had like for animals that come in for like rehabilitation, we could have like a center for them, and then we would be able to feed them in that, but also have like the other animals roaming free. They'd be able to like live off of what's on the land and stuff like that. Building costs, so like for the fencing, for the bridges and stuff, for the signs, like anything else we need to like build in the habitats, I set up about $400,000, because building costs can be quite expensive. Educational costs, I said about $20,000. So like if we would ever need like, or so like if like schools would want to come and see like the zoo, and like have like not a class there, but like have like a learning day there, then we could have different expenses for them, like different teachers, different vets, stuff like that coming in. And then like other miscellaneous things, like because there's always chances that stuff could go wrong. Like other things like the trucks, like I said, the vets, the staff, just different things like that to keep the park running and the animals healthy. My motivation was I went to the Henry Zoo a few times when we went on soccer trips when I was younger. I mean, I loved it. Like I was a little kid at the zoo, who wouldn't love that? But I mean, it was also that feeling of like you don't want to see the animals like kept in captivity. So it's it kind of like was something I've always wanted to do, because I like always had a love for animals. But and then wanting to give people like a different experience. Like you go to a zoo, I mean, yeah, zoos are different, you see different animals there, but zoos are pretty much all the same around here nowadays. Like you go to the zoo, you walk around, see a bunch of animals in captivity, you stare, or like you don't really get to like interact with them very much. So like with this, you'd be able to interact with the animals. Like when you drive around and see them, the animals could come right up to the trucks. You could like stop and see them when they come up. You could, like if you're in like certain trucks, like you could like feed them different things, but like also being careful while doing it, of course. Just different things like that, so that you're not always getting the same experience. So my reflection, I said my genius hour idea came to me because of my love for animals. I think it definitely could be done. Like there's like zoos in like China, I think, that kind of have something like this. But it also could be difficult because of like the cold weather climates that we have in Iowa, that most of these animals live in like a warm weather climate, so it'd be kind of difficult for that reason. But other than that, I think it could work. Like I said it before, like the Omaha Zoo was like where I went when I was younger. Like that's probably one of the closest zoos to Cedar Rapids, that or the St. Louis Zoo. So like this would also give like another feel for the area, something new, something different for the Cedar Rapids area as a whole. Instead of like driving hours and hours just for a family trip or something, you could go to like a local zoo and you wouldn't have to travel as far.